While growing up, one of my first historical figures that I heard about was Alexander the Great, as well as Aristotle. So those are the two guys I first heard about as a little kid, growing up in my country. And this particular video is the greatest speech in history, Alexander the Great. So this should be an interesting one. I can't wait to get into it. Guys, if you haven't subscribed to the channel and you're just watching or you have been here for the past how many months that I've been on YouTube, please help me out, subscribe to the channel. I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers. Please guys, help me out. I really appreciate it. Without wasting any more time, let's get right into the video. In a brilliant 10-year campaign, Alexander and his Macedonian army conquered much of the known world from Egypt to the Indus River. In 324 BC, they returned to Opis, near modern Baghdad, where Alexander ordered some of his Macedonian veterans to return home. But angry at perceived insults to their honor, as well as Alexander's adoption of Persian customs, they mutinied. Okay. So there was a mutiny in the camp. Right. According to the ancient historian Arrian, Alexander executed 13 ringleaders before confronting the army. Wow. Damn, guys. Alexander's exact words are not known, but modern historians believe Arrian records the essence of a real moment of history passed down by eyewitnesses. Okay.
What I'm about to say isn't meant to stop you returning home. As far as I care, you can go wherever you wish. But I want you to know how you have behaved towards me.
Wow.
How I have treated you. I'll begin, as is right, with my father, Philip.
I mean, I get that these words in this speech may not totally be 100% accurate, because at the end of the day, it's eyewitness. Like, I'm not sure anybody was actually really writing the history. Like, as he was making this speech, they're writing it down. I doubt that. So I think this was just, a roundup, if I would say. Then maybe some words may have been added to make it a bit more dramatic. Because I really doubt they got the exact things that he said. You get what I'm saying?
When he found you, you were mere peasants, wearing hides, tending a few sheep on the mountain slopes, and you could barely defend them from your neighbors. Under him, you began living in cities, with good laws and customs, and he turned you from slaves into rulers over those very barbarians who used to plunder your land.
Wow.
He conquered most of Thrace, taking the best harbors so there was trade and prosperity, and put the mines to steady work. The Thessalians, they used to terrify you. Well, we rule them now. The Athenians and Thebans, always looking for a chance to attack Macedonia, were so humble,
That is Athens.
myself playing my small part in the war, that they no longer take tribute from Macedonia, but instead depend upon us for their protection.
That is Sparta.
My father went to the Peloponnese and put their house in order. Then he was declared supreme commander of all the Greeks for the campaign against the Persians. An honor not just for himself, but for all Macedonians. This is what my father Philip did for you. Great enough on its own, but small compared to what you've gained from me.
Whoa, that was epic. I mean, the build up to it, like, mentioning all that his father did for this man and for the soldiers, and he was now hyping his dad, and he now came to the point of all this pearl in comparison to what you've gained from me. Damn. I mean, like I said, these words may not actually be 100% accurate, but if it's even close to this, this is epic.
I crossed the Hellespont, even though back then the Persians still commanded the sea. I defeated the satraps of the great King Darius, and made you rulers of Ionia, Aeolis, Phrygia,
the current
and Lydia,
Turkey,
and took my
Persian
Lysis by
Empire.
siege. The rest of the land surrendered willingly, and their wealth became yours.
Wow.
All the riches of Egypt and Cyrene, which I won without a fight,
How many countries did he conquer? Guys, is there any video that I can check out? You guys should help me out down in the comments if you know of any video that I can check out about Alexander's history. I would like to check it out. I know that he conquered most of the mid Eurasia, that is around this region that is being shown here. And he was very young part of the reason why he's so great, because he was so young when he did all this. So I really like to watch a history, like a brief history of it. You guys can help me out.
Syria, Palestine, Mesopotamia, Babylonia, all belong to you. The wealth of Lydia, the treasures of Persia, the jewels of India and the outer sea.
Wow, he reached
You
India.
are now satraps. You are generals and captains. What have I held back for myself apart from this purple cloak and diadem? Nothing. No man can point to my riches, only the things I hold in trust for you all. And what would I do with them anyway? I eat what you eat. I get no more rest than you. Many times I have spent the night on watch so that you could sleep soundly. Who among you
This must have
believes
been so
he's worked
humbling
harder
for the
me
men.
than I have for him? Come on. If you've got scars, strip and show them to me. I'll show you mine. There isn't one part of my body, the front at least, that doesn't bear a wound. My
Damn.
body's covered in scars from every weapon you can think of. Swords, arrows, stones, clubs.
That is
All
tough.
for the sake of your lives,
That is
your
tough,
glory,
man.
and your wealth.
I mean, men in those days, like I'm not one of those people that I'm trying. Maybe I'm sounding that I'm trying to demean men of current age, but men, guys, I don't think it's comparable. Seriously, men of those days were hardened, war hardened, man, war hardened. And I'm not talking about this kind of wars that they are using, long range weapons like guns or bombs or all these kind of things. Like, it was man to man with swords. Crazy. I mean, like, man, sometimes when I sit down and think about this kind of history, like, think about men of this era, like, I'm always so marveled. I'm not sure that I'll be able to survive during that period.
And yet here I still am, leading you, as conqueror of land and sea, rivers, mountains, and the plains. We've celebrated our weddings together. Many of your children will be cousins of my own. I've paid off your debts without asking how you got them, even though you're paid well enough and pillage every city we take.
Wow.
Many of you wear
Really?
golden crowns.
I mean, he paid their debts. Even though they still had money, like, as they were, when they take over a particular place, they pillage the place. So, like, they also had their own stuff. So they could have been able to pay off their own debts. So that means he was still paying their debts for them. That sounds unrealistic to me. Guys, what do you think? It sounds unrealistic. Was he paying their debts for them? Wow. Okay.
Many of you wear golden crowns, badges of courage and honor given you by me. Any one of us who was killed, who met a glorious end, we buried with full honors. Many now stand immortalized by bronze statues in Macedonia. Their families are honored and pay no taxes.
Wow.
Under my command, Not one man has been killed fleeing the enemy. And now, I wanted to send back some of you who've been wounded or crippled, or have grown old, to be welcomed back home as heroes. But since you all wish to go, then all of you, go! Go home and tell them that your king,
Damn, no way they're going.
Alexander, conqueror of the Persians, Medes, Bactrians, and Scythians, who now rules over the Parthians, Chorasmians, and Hyrcanians as far as the Caspian Sea, who's marched over the mountains of the Hindu Kush,
Wow.
crossed the Oxus and Tanais rivers, even the Indus, first to cross it since Dionysus himself. I would have crossed the Hyphasis too if you hadn't cowered in fear. Who sailed into the Great Sea from the mouth of the Indus. Who crossed the desert of Gedrosia, where no one had ever led an army. Who took Carmenia, while my fleet sailed the Persian Gulf.
Incredible.
When you get home, you tell them that when you made it back to Susa, you abandoned him and went home, leaving him under the protection of the foreigners you'd conquered. Perhaps this report of yours will seem glorious in the eyes of men, and worthy in the eyes of the gods. Be gone!
Damn. No way they are going. They cannot go. I mean, like just before I read what happened after this, there is no way anybody that goes after such a speech. I was thinking of a word to use that is not offensive, but you guys know what you guys know what I'm trying to say right now. If you leave after this kind of a speech, then where I'm from, they'll say that you're not a man. I'm sorry. But if he did all these things that is being listed in this, paying their debts, you know, like not executing people that flee, those are things that were unthinkable. It's like if you run away, even until today, I think the US has a policy. For example, the US, they have a policy that if someone deserts the army, that there's some kind of punishment for it, right? So if there was no punishment for that under Alexander the Great, I mean, this guy was incredible. Seriously, though, that would make some people to just be running away from battle all the time. But I don't know how accurate it is, though. Let's see. After the speech, the Macedonian troops begged Alexander for forgiveness, leading to an emotional reconciliation between the king and his army. Wow, that was expected. Began to plan further conquests, but in Babylon, less than a year later, he succumbed to an unknown illness and died at the age of just 32. Damn. Wow. That was incredible. No wonder it was called Alexander the Great. No wonder. Like, I've always wondered, I don't really know the full history of this guy, this man. I shouldn't call him a guy. That is insulting. I'm a guy. He's a man. I don't know, like it's incredible. I think I have to try and check out a video about Alexander the Great, because if you think about it, so what he achieved at that age was incredible. Being able to take over all this, and guys, you have to understand, in those days, what was respected was conquest. Like, it's not like now that conquest is a bit frowned upon. In those days, conquest was like, that is what made you a man. Being able to go here, conquer the place, go here, conquer the place, go here, take someone's wife, conquer his house, whatever. Anyhow you want to look at it, those ways look barbaric right now. But in those days, that was what was respected. That was why in those days, women were they used to take it so importantly to find a strong man, a strong, powerful man. And that's why even until today, despite all the gender equality and everything that is going on, women are still attracted to those kind of men to an extent. So this was incredible, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, because I did as well. I really, really enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Peace.